Some people make it look easy. It's not. So all right, let's jump into this. And now that I've got some people in here that are also doing this, we can kind of brainstorm a little bit. But I wanna put the truth out about how much money can you make in Hotshot. It's there's a lot of blurred lines, and really I don't like it for a couple of reasons. The biggest reason that I don't like it is because it puts a false sense of it puts a very false goal on people that don't know better. And I know a lot of people jump into this and they fail, but they don't just fail. You got to understand um, the potential for misinformation has the possibility to ruin people's lives, and not just people, families. Um, so I want to get into this. Let's just break the question down at first. How much can you? This is what I get asked this too much, really. How much can you make in Hotshot? How much can you make? How much can I make? It, I can make nothing. I can make. I've made 10,000 one week, but how much can I make a day? How much can I make a week, a month, a year? Every single one of those numbers will be different the next one, the next day, the next week, the next month. Unless you have dedicated, guaranteed year round freight and it's exactly the same, all those numbers are going to change. They're going to change because of weather breakdowns. They're going to change because of cancellations. They're going to change all the time. There's no real way. And you could say, well, what's a basic average? A basic average is a humongous span. I mean, I've had weeks fall apart to where I've worked a whole week and I've only made the gross 3,000. But what I make in a week or a month or a day isn't going to be what you make. It's not going to be what anyone else makes, because all of my expenses, no one else has exactly the exact same expenses as I have. And I'm not just talking about business, personal expenses. The biggest thing is how you manage your money. It's your life. Um, does does your lifestyle allow you to do this? Does it allow you to succeed in this? One of the things that I'll tell you right now is that you'll never see me post that I make a quarter million to $500,000 a year. You will also not ever see me post that I need an investor to grow my company. None of those are going to happen. I make enough to do this. I make enough for this to be worth doing. So let that tell you what it tells you. How much do I bank? Um, it depends. It's always different. It's such a hard question to answer. And what I make is not what you will make. We could make the exact same gross in one week, and what we make won't be the same. You you have to, if you're coming into this or you're wanting to get into this, you have to break down your life financially. And then you have to add, and it helps to do like worst case scenarios. What's the biggest expenses? What's a high dollar week going to be? And you have to factor for that, because bad weeks and days and even months are going to happen. They will happen. You can try all you want. More of this industry is out of your control than is actually in your control. um I think that it's been led to believe that that's not true. But it is. You don't call the shots, not all of them. And it's really frustrating to see people make it look like that's how it is. So how much money can you make? That's up to you to a certain point. Okay. So you have to have your life together. That's number one. You cannot start this to dig out of a hole. You will sink. You can make enough money doing this to do well, and you can make enough money in this to go under. That's absolutely the truth right there. A lot of it is up to you. Not all of it is up to you. So you have to weigh averages. And in order to do that, hey, what's up, KB? In order to do that, um, you have to know that there are going to be times where things just aren't going to work like you want them to work. You can't come into this on a shoestring budget. Not at all. You have to come into this prepared. This is a business. This isn't a game. I don't sit here behind the steering wheel and money just falls in my lap. And there's some people out there that will make it seem like that's how this is, and it's not how it is. There's a lot of things that none of these channels will show you because it's humiliating, it's frustrating. There's more of those times than there are just all the smiles and this is all what happened. I mean, when you watch a 5-minute YouTube video, you're only catching 5 minutes, and that is the most. I mean, it's all edited. I mean, it's not even half of it's not even real time, So it's like that's the best of that day, unless it's showing something catastrophic or whatever. But and there's a lot that goes behind the scenes that's not even worth saying that it's not even worth putting on here because it's boring, back paperwork, filing invoices and all that stuff. And I know some people have actually asked to see that. Um, there's a lot of numbers and addresses and names and stuff like that that just can't really be put out on, out to the public. So there's really bad and yeah, like that exactly. Fine. There's a lot of things in this that that determine how much you can make. So that's really what I wanted to get out there is that this isn't I mean I've said it before, it's not a get rich quick uh solution. It's not a solution for for financial problems. And it's not, you're not in an RV guy. It's not, this isn't a scenic journey. I mean, you could try to turn it into that, but I mean all you're going to do is drive by all the stuff. um this is a business. It has to be treated as a business, but it is very, very, very volatile and it changes every single day, every day. So how much can you make in Hotshot? That is almost an impossible question to answer, honestly. You can make enough to keep going. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I'm not sitting here getting rich. I mean, I'm making great money. I'm making more money than I could at home, working a job that would, have me home every night. Um, is providing for everything I needed to provide for, and I'm able to, um, save a little bit on the side. But there are certain things. It's like, it's like Anthony just said, fuel and insurance. Is the this industry is getting a lot more expensive, and the pay is kind of flatlined over the last 20 years, honestly. So it's just like that's. I wanted to say this to get it out that it's not as easy as some make it look. And what you do see is cream of the crop, you know, fixed, edited, scripted information. And, no, a lot of people have a lot of pride. A lot of people, it's almost nobody wants to show failure. But this isn't this isn't a way to get out of a financial hardship. This is a good way to get into it. I'll be honest with you. And it's not that part is on you, because it's really easy to give up and it's easy to get lazy. It's easy to get complacent. And sometimes you don't want to, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. You have to go to areas you don't want to do. You got to stay away from the house longer than you would like. You have to miss certain things, like birth. You don't have to, but there will be conflict there. And that is really what I wanted to get that off my chest, that this is not easy money. And it is not um it's not a ton of money. I mean, you can gross a ton. Yeah. I mean, I wish I got to keep everything that I gross. I'd be doing great. But you don't, and even sometimes with the stuff that you do get to keep, you know, there are situations that take that from you too. You know, like when, you know, Dave got the violation with the scales and all that, or that rope, or he was overweight. You can't account for that. You don't know that that's going to happen in breakdowns. You know, you have to have you have to be good with money. And I'm honestly not great with money. I'm not great with money. But I'm very realistic, and that you have to be. So it's not going to fall in your lap. You know, you're going to have to get out here and work for it. And sometimes it's not even enough to make, you know, what how hard you had to work. You know, sometimes it's not worth that. But it comes down to averages, and even those averages, I can't even hit what I can gross. Like what I grossed last week isn't what I'm going to gross this week, and what I gross this week, it's always going to change. I can try, you know, to make the same amount of money, but it's just not going to happen. You know, I may make less, I may make more, but it's enough to keep doing this, and that's what I wanted to get at. Um, so now, okay, we'll cut that off, and now we'll go into the questions here. How's the weather? Yeah, funny you should ask.